Okay, what's up everyone? Before I start today's video on Yondu, I just wanted to do a quick shout out to thank you all for hitting 100 subs, which was, luckily enough, my end of year goal, and hit it just in time. So thank you everyone for subscribing, and thank you to all those I see down in the comments who are continuing to comment, continuing to watch the videos, and I do notice when you're around for multiple videos, and thank you. Today, I want to talk about Yondu. Ever since I pulled Yondu as my second 6-star, he's kind of been a personal favorite of mine. He has a couple of good uses and some very good damage in general, and I want to talk about him today. So first things first, as always, attributes, average crit rating, a little low critical damage rating, but 65% block efficiency is quite good. He doesn't have any very good synergies. He's the only one to have It Ain't Easy. The all champions gain 400% block penetration, which is an interesting synergy since kind of Yondu goes along with block penetration. I'll talk a little about that later. His dupe ability isn't super necessary. Just when he's duped, for every bleed that the enemy has on them, they will gain a weakness when they use a special attack, so it will reduce their special attack damage and just general damage after that. So his main abilities is his Yaka arrow, and for his Yaka arrow, it's his second and fourth hit in a medium, light, medium combo. It's a normal 5-hit combo. And every time the arrow hits, it's a 25% chance to inflict bleed, dealing quite a bit of damage over 7 seconds. And if they're immune to bleed, this is only immune to bleed in their abilities. Characters like Infinity War Iron Man or Emma Frost, this does not affect. But if they're regularly immune to bleed, like Colossus, they will suffer a armor break for the 7 seconds instead. He has armor and block penetration with that arrow, and he can inflict the bleed even through a block. I'll talk about that when I show some gameplay. Yeah, and like I said, the strength and precision allows it to trigger critical hits and abilities through the block. All attacks have a 25% chance to steal armor buffs. That stuff about trading units is just flavor text that you can't actually get units from using him. Great as that be. And then 10% less power for each debuff that they suffer. This can be pretty good, especially with those weakness debuffs, because if you have 2 bleeds, that turns into 2 pretty long weakness debuffs. But other than that, it's not super helpful. Heavy attacks, plus 50% ability accuracy, and they do use the arrow. So you're getting about a 37% chance for that bleed instead. 100% offensive ability, that is 2 hits of the arrow, so each one has 50% chance to inflict bleed. And it will inflict a heal block for 10 seconds, or if they are regenning, you'll get the heal block for 20 seconds. This is incredibly helpful. Yondu was the most helpful champion for me against Omega Red. Even with his bleed, activating the Death Aura, just being able to heal block against that aggression regen is extremely helpful for Yondu, especially because he applies it just to Cell 1. His SP2 has pretty good block penetration, but it also has an increased attack for each special attack the enemy is thrown. This makes him relatively good for boss fights. All in all, against something like Rumble Legends, I think I tried him out against Rumble Legends Wolverine when I first got him. He got up to about 10k crits, so about to where a spark can hit, which is pretty good, and that was for each hit of the 3 hits that do the most damage. He does 1 hit with the arrow and 3 hits from his ship. And then his SP3 grants boost critical rating, and they're unable to trigger abilities during their next special attack. Not too helpful. Looks pretty cool sometimes though. As always, we're just going to hop into some quick gameplay against some of my Alliance members, because that's the easiest way to find duels. Let's start off against something simple, like a 555 Star-Lord. Yondu's arrow definitely is the best part of his kit. The bleed, like I said, does some pretty good damage, you'll see in a second, and it can stack. although it only lasts for 7 seconds, so getting a lot of stacks of it is relatively difficult. So like I said, the second and fourth hit, inflicting the bleed, doing 143 per tick. SP2, or SP1, sorry. It's a 10-second heal block. And I actually want to use SP2 here. And I want to show off in a second. If I can get him to block. I cannot. Let's use another SP1. Overall, his damage it's relatively good. It's about 2k medium crit with class advantage, which is about just per hit damage. It's about what my other 6-star R1s can do, and some of what my other maxed my R4 or 5-stars can do. Let's go against one more. I don't want to go against Cable because I will bleed him. Let's go against. I don't think it's 555 blade. Let's go against 555 blade. Oh no, this one is a. I believe it's a Yon. Yeah, Dr. Rudo. So we'll go for the SP1 really quick to get that long heal block. Hopefully he'll play a little more passive, and I can get him to block so I can show off applying the bleed with the block. So right here. So what I do when they're blocking is I'll go in for a 4-hit combo, because that gets both the arrow hits in, but it doesn't leave me open as if I were to finish with a medium attack. 20-second heal block. Get the block again. I'm hitting those critical hits through his block, but I am not able to apply the bleed. There we go. You can see like he can't apply the 153 bleed. He can also apply the armor break through a block as well. Helpful for champions like Infinity War Iron Man. If you get him to start off blocking, he won't immediately auto block. Actually, forget about that. That's not helpful because Infinity War Iron Man is one of those characters that you can't apply the armor break to because he is not naturally bleed immune, but his armors give him bleed immunity. So he's kind of Yondu's counter, sadly. But one of the things Yondu can do that's pretty cool, and I've talked about this in my alternate counters and Medusa video. Yondu was one of the highlighted champions on that video. Because, like I said, his Yaka arrow is his main part of his kit, and one of the things his Yaka arrow is it's a non-contact attack. It being the second hit of a combo means that I can hit into Medusa's auto block with it. I actually want to play more passive here because I'm killing her pretty quickly. I will not get stunned because it is a non-contact hit. So that's a very good use for Yondu. I have used him in war, actually, like this a couple times. One of the things, obviously, if you have to parry, you have to back out, because you don't want to hit her with your third hit, which is a contact hit. But I've actually used Yondu in war like this, since he was only my second or third R4 5-star equivalent, and he served me pretty well, actually, in that aspect for a while, as a 6-star. So I definitely think he's still quite a good champion. Has quite a few good uses in him, despite being now a relatively older champion. I believe it was year 3. We'll go one more time against the Blade. So Blade will be reducing our bleed durations, so those won't be doing as much damage. I think Yondu's a good pull for anyone as a 6-star. My first tier list I made, I think he was number 2 or 3 below Angela, since he was one of the OG 6-stars. But I think he's still definitely worth taking a look at if he's your first or second 6-star. Like I said, his damage is relatively good. He's doing 1500 medium there. That's pretty good for a non-class advantage. Obviously, he has the regen that all 6-stars have, and I think most characters just available as a 6-star are quite a bit better than if they were available as a 5-star, just because of that regen makes them a lot more powerful and a lot better as a brawler, which is what I use Yondu for most of the time. And I do bring him into war every so often. I bring him into AQ all the time now, actually, because he's no longer on my defense team. Another great use for him, Alliance War defense. If you have him and a lot of other people don't, he can make a great diversity defender that'll get you quite a couple of kills because of his block proficiency. And because he can't be parried off his first light attack. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, hopefully you found it helpful. If you have Yondu, I think it's worth taking another look at. And yeah, thanks for watching, see you in the next one.